Hey everyone, it's Amy Stevens, wedding officiant, and I am here today with wedding painter Kat McGregor. How are you today, Kat?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for asking. Well, you and I had the opportunity to meet earlier at an actual wedding, and I got to see kind of the behind the scenes of how you do painting for an actual wedding where you're in person. But I want to kind of backtrack a little bit and talk with us a little bit about the process. So, when a couple comes to you, what's the process to go about working together and getting a painting of the wedding?
Yeah, so when people first inquire, I usually do a discovery call before we even sign a contract so that they know and I know that I'm the right painter for them. And then once they do want to sign a contract, about a month out from their wedding, I'll do an in-depth call with them to really get all the nitty-gritty details and make sure that we're on the same page with all the painting, like who they want in the painting, what like if they want something changed in the background, if someone doesn't like a certain mole on their face, whatever it is, we can make that happen on the day of. And then on the day of the wedding, I should have all the details, so I shouldn't have to ask any questions. And then I start from a blank canvas right before your ceremony. So all your guests get to see from start to finish what the painting will look like. And then I basically paint throughout the rest of the night in front of all your guests and yourselves. And then I get to bring it home. I do a studio touch-up period because I work in oil paints. And oils don't dry on the night of anyway, so I don't want you to be carrying a wet painting on your wedding day or worrying about that or where it's going to be. So I bring it home and then I do all the little tiny touch-ups. Then about 4 to 8 weeks after, I give you your painting. So it's a process, but it's super intimate and a beautiful way to represent your painting and something you'll have in your home, hopefully forever, and get to pass down. So yeah.
It's such a beautiful option to have as a wedding gift to yourself, unless
Yeah.
maybe a family member gifts this as well. Is that usually
Mhm.
or yeah, okay.
Yeah, I haven't had too many this year, but last year I had quite a few, especially moms of the brides, do it as a gift. Or a lot of times actually the groom will give it to the bride or the bride will give it to the groom, whoever is more interested in it. I had one of those this year. I'm not going to say who it is, obviously, but yeah, so that's super exciting, especially because the groom or bride or whoever is giving it is super excited and they know exactly what the other person wants. And like a lot of times, like it'll be like they want to book me and then they'll just say like, oh, she's booked already or whatever. And then I surprise them on the day of and they're like beyond excited. It's so fun. So yeah, I mean, it's a good gift, I would say.
Awesome opportunity. Now, one thing that as I was looking over your shoulder at the wedding that we did together, the thing that was so interesting to me was is that you placed the mountain in a different location from where it was. And I was like, wait a minute. And I kept turning and looking back. And that's when you told me that you customize kind of the layout. So you're bringing kind of that focal point to the back of the painting as the image. Some venues you don't always get that vantage point, so kind
Right.
of your creative experiences, you can kind of adjust the vantage point depending on where you are and also what the couple is wanting to do. Is that more in alignment?
Yeah, exactly. And it's kind of like I like to describe it as like a physical Photoshop because it kind of is like yeah, that specific couple really wanted that part of the mountain. It was just a little bit out of view. So I just like shifted it a little bit to be behind them because that's what they wanted and it I think it turned out great the way that it fit into the composition. But yeah, I mean, there's some couples who are like, oh, I don't like this altar behind me, so can we change it to this scene? And like that's totally doable with a wedding painting because, it just, yeah, physical Photoshop. So
Yeah, it was really such an interesting idea. I
Mhm.
was taking it so literal, and then I was like, oh, she's got some really good creative license that she can deal with here because you can go any direction you wanted to.
Mhm.
So, chat with me about your background. How did you get started doing this or art or whatever?
Yeah. I guess I can start from the beginning. I'll make this hopefully kind of brief. But I've always been interested in art, drawing my whole life, I guess, just for fun. But never really took any official art classes or anything like that until college. In high school, my mom knew an art teacher. She was friends with one, and so I got little like private lessons throughout high school. So she really gave me a great start, and she's the one who really pushed me to pursue art, which I'm so grateful for. And yeah, so I went to school at Hope College in Holland, Michigan. It's a liberal arts Christian college where they have a really great art program. And yeah, I learned so much about like the figures and like color and all kinds of things. Like it is a very well-rounded education at a little liberal arts college. So even with studio art, you're learning all kinds of things like printmaking, drawing, painting, sculpture. Like so you learn all those kinds of mediums to find what really drives you and what you love, and you use those other types of mediums in the work you do. So I think especially like learning sculpture and the figure like really helped with painting and seeing images as a three-dimensional form rather than just two-dimensional, like you see on a photo. I think that's really important with figure drawing, especially. So yeah, after I graduated, I got interested in wedding painting. It's actually kind of funny, but I got married in 2022, and Andrea Neff, she's out here. She was a family friend, but she also is a wedding photographer in the area. She took our wedding photos, and right before our wedding, she was like, "Hey, Kat, like, have you ever thought about live wedding painting?" Because I was new to the area. I lived in Michigan, as I said before, and had kind of not really found my niche yet, like what I wanted to do. I still wanted to be a painter, but didn't know if it was possible because it's very difficult to become a full-time artist, you know. So yeah, she was like, "Yeah, have you ever thought about it?" And I was like, "I don't know. That sounds kind of horrible to me, like standing up at all these people, and I don't know how it would work. Like, do you take an image? Do you just like paint in one go? Like, how does it work?" And then so I kind of like forgot about it, and then had our wedding, and a few months after that, my mom was like, "Have you ever heard of live wedding painting?" And I was like, I heard it from Andrea, but I hadn't really given it much thought. And this was at the end of 2022. And so eventually I just started to research more about it, look at other artists, and I saw that there was a lot of potential in it, and there's a lot of uniqueness in each person's live painting. Like I think, and it's interesting now that I'm a live painter, like seeing how my work, my own fine art, like reflects my wedding paintings. And yeah, so I started to make a page on my website for it. I thought it was unpublished. So I was just like messing around, just like making a page, like, oh, what would this look like if I tried to do this? Didn't even really think I was going to do it. I just was kind of thinking of like mildly thinking about it. And eventually in March, this wedding planner reaches out to me from California, and she's like, "Hey, like, are you a wedding painter?" And I was like, "How did you know? Like, how did you see this page?" Because she had seen my what I thought was unpublished page, and apparently it was published. It just wasn't connected to my website. So she found it on Google, and I was like, "Okay, like, just so you know, this is like totally like I've never done this before. Like, here's my personal artwork, and like I've gone to college for art. I have done figure drawing, like I've done the X, Y, and Z. Like, I'll charge you what a commission would cost for this painting, whatever size you want. And then like I can, if I mess up on the day of, I can fix it at home. Like, but I just want you to know that this is my first like wedding painting, like live painting." And then she was like, "Yeah, that's perfect. Send over the contract." Like the sister of it was actually a surprise from the sister of the groom. And so my first wedding painting was a surprise. And so I was like, "Oh no, now I have to do this." And so it was about a month out from the wedding, and yeah, I mean, I was panicked for that whole month, but I did a lot of research and I practiced plein air painting so much in that month. And yeah, I loved it. Like the first time I did it, I was like, wow, this is so fun. Like just getting to talk to people the whole night and the energy level is so high. People are just like so into it. And I love like actually I didn't get to talk to the couple, so I didn't get to feel that connection with the couple yet. But even just having it as a surprise from the sister of the groom, like it was so fun. Getting to hear what she wanted and make that creation for her in such a quick amount of time because it's so fast, like only just a few hours to
Now,
make.
do you take photos as well during the ceremony as kind of a reminder of, okay,
Yeah, I try to like get to a point where I mainly need to add in the couple as a base, like do all the sketching and stuff beforehand. But the couple, like, there's no way. Because they like some people are moving, like unless it's like they're still for a half hour, like holding hands. Like, I mean that I have been able to paint while that's happening sometimes, but like to the level of detail that I do, it takes like a long time, like about I would say 3 or 4 hours for the couple alone to do the detailing, like in the studio anyway. So I need to, yeah, bring some images back home.
nice. Well,
Yeah.
and during the ceremony that we worked together, I was trying to watch what you were doing, but I was kind of focused on the couple. And
Yeah,
so
that's fair.
so every now and again I was like, I think she's moving and taking a photo. Like I would see you in the back and
Mhm.
then I didn't try to hone in too much on that.
Yes.
So as far as like how people can get a hold of you, do you have a website?
Yes. So it's kmfineartstudios.com.
All right. And then on there, it has the live painting information, but you also do commission work. Is that right? Like as far as something, maybe somebody wants something for their home or
Yes.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I do. And recently I started to do it more like within the slow months. So like right now the summer and then like January-ish, like I'll take on some. So depending on the time of year, yes, I definitely do commissions. And usually it like now I'm doing more like portraits or I do a lot of pet portraits especially still. But my main love is doing portraiture and like the feel between like environment and people, like that push and pull, like I love that. So a lot of times like I'll take on mainly either wedding commissions or that kind of work. So
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, it's interesting. You and I have a lot of similarities in our background. I too went to a liberal arts college, and
yeah.
my background's interior design. So,
Oh,
from
very
that
cool.
standpoint, I was in the art building pretty much my my whole time being on campus. So, yes, I totally get it. Totally get
Yeah,
it.
that's so
Well,
cool.
awesome. Well, the other way that people can get a hold of you is through Instagram, and you do a lot of even reels. So there's like little videos that you post on Instagram. So can you share your handle there?
Yeah, it's weddingpainter.az.
Wonderful. And it's really fun to see the beginning parts of a painting. And so if you are a guest at a wedding, and you happen to see that there's a live painter, go over and take a look and see where it starts so that you can even go back later on once it's installed at the couple's home. So it's a really beautiful process, and there's so much energy and life in the painting that I saw from you. And I didn't get to see the final product, but even just seeing the bit that you had, I mean, you did quite a bit in the time frame that I saw you originally set up to when I left before reception. So it was really cool.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I mean, I would suggest whoever, like, if you ever see a live painter, definitely go up and talk to them because, I mean, I noticed that at the beginning of the night, a lot of people are nervous to come up and talk to me, and I mean, there's no need to be nervous. I'm there for a reason, you know. So, I would encourage asking whatever questions you have because not too many people have seen an artist actually painting, which is, I think, a beautiful part of my job is that I get to introduce some people to the art world. So yeah.
So Do you also do local art shows?
I do, yeah, I try to get into art shows, but mainly festivals right now and wedding painting. So yeah, I do like the Tempe Festival of Arts and whatever I can get into in the area. But
Well, fantastic. Yeah, that's a very busy one, the Tempe one. And remind
Mhm.
me what month that usually is hosted.
Yeah, they have one in December and then in March every year. But this December I actually can't do it, but March. Mhm.
Yeah, that's our wedding season. So I'm sorry, I won't be there.
I know. I know. It's kind of like, ooh, I need to decide. This year, a lot of my weddings have been kind of, the weekends that unfortunately are festivals. So I'm having to kind of decide between two, two, good things. But
Too bad they don't do art festivals in the summer indoors at,
I know, right? That would have been perfect. I'm like, why did
yeah,
it's all during the busy season?
yeah, yeah.
Good.
That's interesting, which is
Yeah.
good and bad. But at the same time, for those of us in a certain industry, like the wedding industry, yeah, from October until April, forget it.
Yeah, that's so true.
Well, awesome. Well, Kat McGregor, thank you so much. And again, your Instagram is weddingpainter.az. And then your website again,
kmfineartstudios.com.
plural there. Okay, fabulous. Well, enjoy. I appreciate your time and look forward to working with you again.
Yeah, thank you so much, Amy.